everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Cue the Chat with Fionn Lynch. Today's episode is going to be a look back at the road of Chris Wakelin and Ding Junhui getting to the final. Ding Junhui's match finishing less than 10 minutes ago as I start recording. God, there were two great matches, weren't they, really? Chris Wakelin having to fight off a late comeback from Zhao Gudong. Him winning in a decider, and the absolute emotion that poured out of him at the end of that match was absolutely extraordinary. I mean, I watched an interview on the World Snooker Tour page, and he looked like he'd been crying and crying and crying. I mean, what a big occasion for him. Like, he could win £150,000 and ranking points tomorrow. And I mean, since he won that shootout, he's just been so... The confidence that has brought him has just been... It's been immense. We're going to have a look back at his road. So, in the last 128, that's the qualifying round that was played a couple of weeks ago. He beat Chuang Kao from... what country is that? That's Hong Kong, is it? I think so. He beat him 6-2. Chuang has been playing well recently, actually. He made it quite far into a couple of... I think he did pretty well in the Northern Ireland Open, if I'm not mistaken. And I've seen him popping up in another few places. He's been playing well over recent times. So it was a great win for Chris Wakelin. Now, he's had a walkover against Zach Shorty in the last 64. That was the first round that was being played in China. So his first round was against Sean the Magician Murphy. And Chris Wakelin won that one 6-3. Really, on paper, his semi-final should have been his easiest match. Because he's killed off some absolutely unreal players on the way to the final. Like he's killed off Ding Junhui there. Or he's not killed off Ding Junhui. Ding Junhui's playing in the final. He killed off Sean Murphy 6-3. I mean, that was an excellent win, really. And then we move on to the last 16, where he then beat Mark Williams 6-4. I mean, again, Mark Williams has been playing with a new cue recently. I think he's starting to get the hang of it. So to beat Mark there in that match was absolutely a great result. And then we move on to John Higgins. I mean, that match went on and on and on and on. So much so that they had to be taken off for their final frame, which John Higgins was not very pleased about at all. I mean, that's the second time that it happened to him in 2 matches. I think that whoever told him to come off, he told him to fuck off. But, Schluck it. He wasn't best pleased, but I'm sure he'd calmed down because they were waiting absolutely ages to get on then. And then the semi-final. I mean, he got off to such a good start in that semi-final. And then he just got pegged back by Zhao Gudong. He got in a great lead. I mean, what did he go? He went 4-2 up, 5-3 up, 6-3 up, 7-3 up, and then 7-3, 7-4, 7-5. Then he went 8-5. Then 8-6, 8-7, 8-8, and he finally managed to win it then in a decider. And as I say, the interview that I saw, if you haven't seen it, go and watch it over on the World Snooker Tour page. I think it's the video just before the decider, the video showing the decider on the page. Man, it's just watching him. It was, I'll be rooting for him tomorrow. I tell you that much. I'm not going to give away my prediction, but I will be rooting for him tomorrow because, I mean, he's such a deserving player. Like, I love watching him. And you can see how much winning a game of snooker means to him. So I just hope that he does it because he's a good man to win it, you know. He's just great to watch. We'll move on to Ding Junhui now. His qualifying match was held over to the main arena. So So he was playing Ryan Evans. 6-0 he won that one. I mean, I would have expected Ryan to get a frame at least, but Ding Junhui definitely would have been the heavy favourite there. Then he beat Martin O'Donnell 6-1. Then Hossein Vafai 6-0. Like, when I saw that match was going to be on number one, I thought it would have been on Eurosport, but it was I think it was it Mark Allen, Aaron Hill? Which, to be fair, I would have been watching that one anyway, to be honest, because, Aaron Hill, I've said it before, I'll say it again, he's only from up the road from where I live. Big fan of him. But that match was 6-0, so Eurosport made the right decision, really, in having that as their main match. Then the last 16, Jiang Jun beat 6-3. That game wasn't on TV either, as far as I remember. Now, I was really disappointed not to see really any of the quarterfinal, Ding Junhui versus Karen Wilson. But from what I can see, Ding Junhui was ahead for most of the match. In fact, yeah, he stayed ahead the whole way. There was a couple, they went to 4-4, but Ding Junhui was ahead for most of the match. And he's managed to win that. That's a good scalp, considering, was it last week or the week? No, it was the week before. Karen Wilson won the Northern Ireland Open. So, again, a great win for Ding Junhui. And then the semi-final, which just finished a few minutes ago. I mean, he was 3-0 down, 4-2 down, 5-2 down. And then from 5-2 down, really, that was where he managed to pull it back. It was 5-3 at the end of the first session. And then from there, he dominated the match, really. 5-4, 5-5, 5-6, 6-6, and then from there, Shusa didn't win another frame. So that was the road to the final for the two players. Now it's time for the prediction. So I predict that Ding Junhui is going to win the match by 10 frames to 6. Now, I think, well, as I say, I want Chris Wakelin to win, but he seems, I don't know, I feel like he's going to, maybe at the start, the occasion is going to get the better of him a little bit. I think he'll really need a good start, and I think that for the first few frames he might be a bit shaky, because it is a big occasion for him. I mean, he's just made it into the top 16, so he will be going to the UK Championship. I never mentioned that he's going to be a seed at the World Championship. But I just feel like the first couple of frames he's going to be a little bit more nervous definitely more nervous than Ding Junhui, and I feel like that might scupper him a bit. I feel like he might, that a bad start there might be what decides really the match. Now, we're going to have a packed podcast on, I don't know, will it be Monday or Tuesday, but it'll be during the week anyway, because we're going to be talking about this, we're going to be reviewing this tournament, we're going to be talking about the Champion of Champions. We've had correspondence. I mean, there's been a lot going on this week. I mean, we've had big names in the snooker fandom commenting on Spotify. We've had an email, and we're early. I'm not sure if I should be giving this away, but I'm early in talks. We are featuring on another podcast, so stay tuned if you want to hear a bit more about that. But yeah, we're gonna have a stacked podcast on Monday. Plenty going on, so I hope to see you then. Enjoy the final of the International Championship, if you're going to get up for it, because what time does it start at? Does it start at 6 or 7? Double check what time it starts at. Okay, so the first session is at 6 a.m. Ireland and UK, and then the second session 11:30. So it's the same as the matches that have been on, the semi-finals that have been on over the weekend. So I hope you enjoy them if you're going to get up for it, because it is an early start. I mean, to be honest, I might give the first session a little bit of a skip, Unless I'll get up about 9 o'clock, see if it's still on. But I might rewatch a bit of it. But realistically, I'm not going to see much of the first session. The second session, then, more sociable hours. So let's definitely see a bit more of that. So I hope you enjoy. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, all that crack. You know the story. And we will see you Monday or Tuesday. So for me, adios.